Okay. Bow tie. Bow tie. What is your name? Jaden. Okay, Jaden.
So,
what do I think will make people stop doing graffiti? I think if we had more pride in our community, you know, we're all from, you all live in Pacoima? Or San Fernando? Where do you live? Granada Hills.
I live in the valley. I live in
Canyon Country. Okay, so I think if we all took more pride in our community and we're proud of where we come from, we would not want our community to have graffiti. And so, but also, you know, making sure that the youth that are doing this have programs to be involved in. Like, are any of you in after-school programs? Or are you in music or dance or art? I think if we had more programs that the youth could be involved in, then they wouldn't be doing this graffiti. Also, you know, I used to work for the city of LA, and I know how much it costs to paint the graffiti. It costs $1 million a year, millions of dollars for the city of LA to paint over the graffiti. Right? That's a lot of money that we could be using for other things, like these programs that I mentioned. So instead of using $1 million to paint over the graffiti, we could be investing in our communities. I know that's a lot, but I'll stop. Yeah, it's all true, right? Okay, I like you already.
You're next since you're always telling me to go next.
Okay, what is your name?
Hannah.
Hannah. Okay.
Why is pollution affecting the valley?
Why is pollution affecting the valley? You know, I think years ago, the valley used to be home to landfills. Do you know what a landfill is? Where they bury the trash. And a lot of them used to be located here in Sun Valley. In these areas, there's the Locust Canyon, which is Lake Contreras. So I think the city of LA, a long time ago, used to put those landfills here in our community. We also have a lot of trucks that travel through this area that are polluting our air. So our air quality is not good. That's why a lot of kids have asthma, because schools are very close to these highways and where a lot of trucks go that are probably not using what we call clean energy, right? Where they're using energy or gas that pollutes the environment.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Elizabeth?
You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, I think you can do it. That way you get it over with too. What will I do to stop the dumping?
People putting stuff on
Oh, like the mattresses and the couches that are out there.
like pollution, like on the floor.
Yeah, but a lot of people dump their trash out on the street, right? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Well, in my position, I work for the state of California, and what we take care of is the freeways. So there's a lot of trash on the freeways. I don't know if you notice when you're driving on the freeway or on an exit, there's a lot of trash. So we've started doing community cleanups, which is where we recruit volunteers to help us clean some of the freeway exits, so that they know what it takes, to clean these areas up. but also I'm working with Caltrans, which is the California Department of Transportation. So this is the state agency that's in charge of making sure that our freeways are clean. And so I'm making sure that they focus on our areas too, so that our freeways are clean.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have a question?
Who's next?
Who's next?
Okay, so you two have, oh, these three have gone, right? You three have gone. Okay, so I have 3 more, or maybe more, I don't know. Alex?
Alexander.
Alexander. Okay, let's go. Okay.
Alright. In the video, we heard Tony say that the average to put kids in a prison in California costs $252,000 a year. How can this money be invested in making the planet even more beautiful?
So instead of investing in prison, right? You mean? Yeah, I agree. I think that, like you mentioned, it costs a lot of money to put someone in jail. So a young person could go to jail, be there for the rest of their life, and it's very expensive. I think instead, a lot of the money should be used early on, like at your age, to make sure that the young children of this community have an education, are involved in their schools and their communities, so that they don't end up committing crimes and going to jail. I think it's better if we use the money early on than having to pay for jail for the rest of their lives. Because as you said, it's very expensive. So why don't we use that money early on? Exactly.
Thank you. First, so we heard that you did a company called Beautify. What led you to make it?
Okay, so I am the founder of DIY Girls, which stands for Do It Yourself. And actually we have a program here at Vaughn. I don't know if you've ever met. It's for 5th graders, here at 4th and 5th graders. So this is one of the schools where, and I used to teach here. Years ago, I used to teach the program here. The reason I started that organization is because I studied engineering. Does anyone know what an engineer is? What's
An engineer is, well, there's different kinds of engineers. There's like environmental engineers, robotics engineers. Because my mom helps robotics.
Oh,
My mom
okay.
helps robotics engineers.
Okay, your mom helps robotics engineers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes parts.
Yeah, so I studied electrical engineering, which we design things like cell phones and electronics for your car, laptops. That's what electrical engineers do, right? So when I was working as an engineer, I felt there wasn't enough women or young girls that were interested in that field. And so I really wanted to do something about it, especially in my community, because I'm from Pacoima. And so I decided to start an organization that would teach and inspire young girls to learn about science and engineering and to consider these fields as a career in the future. So I've worked with a lot of girls from this elementary school. I started the program at Telfair Elementary. Do you know Telfair Elementary? It's down the street from here. You passed, yeah, it's on the way here. Well, that's where I went to school. So I went to Telfair, and then the second school that I ran the program at was here. Oh, that's such a great question. Yeah. So he asked if any of the schools that I went to had technology, and the answer is yes. So I went to Telfer Elementary, Pacoima Junior High, which is now Pacoima Middle School, and then I went to San Fernando High School. This was a long time ago.
All of your schools have it?
Yeah, they did. So when my elementary school, this is 1984, we had Apple IIe computers, which are really old Apples. And back then, a lot of people didn't have computers at home. We'd never seen computers before. But my teacher had computers in our classroom, and she taught us how to program them. And I was in 5th grade. Are you guys 5th graders?
Yes.
Okay, I was in 5th grade in 1984. So, it was a long time ago, but my teacher taught us how to program. And back then, the computers didn't have a mouse, and there was no games to play. You had to type in all the commands to make it do anything. Right? So we had to know how to program, otherwise we couldn't use the computer at all. There were very different computers back then. Do you guys have a computer at home?
Yes.
Oh, you have a computer here? Or are those computers right there? Oh, Chromebooks. So fancy, right? Well, mine were like huge and big.
Yeah, and then they're like oh yeah. They're
They're big computers. Yeah, that we use. Yeah.
It's like little white.
Yeah, so I didn't know that was a career. I thought it was a fun toy that we used in the classroom. But then my teacher told me that I should consider computer science because she saw how much I liked using the computer and programming it, or coding, what they call it, coding. And so I started telling everyone that I was going to study computer science and engineering. And so that was in 5th grade. And then when I got to Pacoima Junior High, they offered like computer science as an elective. So I took it because I'm like, I already know how to do this. I learned it at Telfer Elementary. And then at San Fernando High, they also offered computer science. So I took it again. But I'm sad because they don't offer it anymore, like they did in the 80s. This is the 1980s.
Can I get it? Okay. What led you to the government?
Oh, that's a good question. So, as you may know, I just got elected to the state assembly. Okay, so from this, I represent this area. The state assembly is the state government in Sacramento, which is the capital of California. The reason I ran was because I felt that, I worked in a lot of schools in this area, and I got to know kids and their families, and I learned, as well as from my own experience, how hard it is for families to get jobs in this area, to pay all their bills. Rents are very high. So there's just a lot of barriers. For you to be successful because your family is struggling. So a lot of families are struggling to pay their bills. And I thought that by going into government and being the elected official from this area, I can help with that. And it's fun to represent the area that you grew up in.
In LA Convention Center. Where that's at? Downtown. Sit downtown. Guys, you go by the
Yeah, who's next? We have more?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
No, that's it.
He hasn't gone?
Where Kevin go? Wait more. No, for person. Say, when you were in school, that's what I do. Yeah, so we're done with the personal life. Yeah, play more.
When you were in school, did you have DIY there?
No, because I'm the one that started it, right? Back then, like I said, it was in the 1980s. We didn't have that. So I'm so jealous of the girls that are in DIY girls because I wish I would have had that when I was young, when I was in elementary school.
So, and it's worked for the city for years. But it doesn't mean that new ideas become, the hardest thing is getting the new ideas to work. So I say, for instance, if I could find a fast choice, everybody's doing it the old fashioned way, ladders, not up there,
else? You can ask any other questions too.
So, what are you going to do for Sylmar beautification project?
Oh, what am I going to do for Sylmar Beautification Project? So I am working with the Sylmar Neighborhood Council. They're a group of people that meet every month to talk about things they could do to improve Sylmar. And so what we're doing in October, we're going to have a cleanup, a community cleanup with Sylmar. I think at the Roxford. Do you know the street Roxford? It's in Sylmar. So at the freeway exit, there's a lot of trash, and what we want to do is clean it up, and we also want to plant plants there to make it look beautiful. Because I think our community should not just be clean, but it should look beautiful. We should be proud to live here, right? And it should look as beautiful as other communities on the other side of the valley. Right?
And do you know when it's going to be?
In October. I don't know the exact date, but I know it's happening in October. I'm the state assembly member. So I work in Sacramento and I work here. My office is in Arleta. Oh, for the cleanup, Sylmar Neighborhood Council. Oh, I thought you said, who do I work for? I'm like, I work for you.
What activities will be happening?
From what I know, we're gonna have them. They're gonna close off the exit. The people, the people in charge of the freeways are gonna close the exit, and we're gonna have, students and community members. They're gonna be wearing helmets and vests, and so we're gonna give them tools, and so they're gonna help us clean up that area. So they're gonna load up all the trash bags. And then we have a teacher from Sylmar High School that will help us plant the plants. High School, Sylmar High School. Sylmar Neighborhood Council. It could be, or any questions that you have that are not on your list?
The martial arts
when you created DIY, was it difficult to get all the money to invest?
Yes, very hard. It's hard when you first have an idea and you start something. Sometimes people are not sure whether to give you money because they're not sure if you're actually going to use that money for that project. Or sometimes they'd rather wait until you've been doing it for a few years to invest. But it was hard, but you just have to keep going to get the money because they have to believe in you that you're not going to quit. Right? And I think once people saw that I wasn't going anywhere and that we were going to continue, they started believing in me and they started to donate money to the organization.
Excellent response.
Thank you. Oh, you have a question? Oh, you went like that? Oh, okay. Nice.
But it was good.
Anything else? Anything else?
Community just like this.
Yeah, I'm from this community, Pacoima. Yeah, down the street.
So now you're in school.
Yes, yes.
That's pretty inspiring to students.
I guess so.
What did the girls do in DIY?
They do electronics, so they make things with different electronic components. Then they also do coding. They learn to program computers. At high school level, they've done robotics. They've done, built robots themselves. And we have an invention program. So they get to invent ideas, and we help them invent.
So you could have gone anywhere and you decided to stay in.
Yeah. I used to work as an engineer. After I graduated from college, I got a job, and I worked for this company called Motorola. that made, you know, different types of electronics, including cell phones, especially back then. And I was an engineer for them. But then I noticed that a lot of people, there wasn't a lot of women and other women that looked like me as engineers, and I decided I would rather focus on that.
Did you struggle when you were a kid growing up? Was that part of your journey?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I grew up here in Pacoima. I'm sure you know a lot of kids that they live in a garage or in the back of a house because they can't afford to buy their house. You know, I grew up with a single mother, and so she couldn't afford to buy a house on her own. So we either lived in someone's house or in the back. I'm sure a lot of your friends, or you may know people that live like that. So, right? I mean, that's very common in this community, and so it was hard for her because, you know, just trying to support my sister and I.
I understand that because when I was a little kid, my parents didn't have enough money to buy a house, and my aunt, she had this house with a garage they were never using. And the garage had this like area perfect for living room, this area perfect for beds, and at the head of that. And so when my aunt heard that we couldn't afford a house, she called my mother saying that we could live in the garage, putting our beds and we could live there until we find a house.
Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, I think what's great is a lot of people in our community are willing to help us, right? Or our family helps us a lot. If they have extra room in their house, or like you said, a garage in the back, hey, it's better than being homeless, right? We have a home. And that's what matters. You're together, you're with your family. You know, as kids, I remember it was hard for me. It's like you couldn't have your friends come over because you live in the garage, right? Your friends can't come over. And so that's hard when you're a kid. But, you know, your parents are doing everything they can, as, you know, to provide for you. And that's what they can, that's the home they can afford for now.
It's better than
Yeah, and my family never bought a house. They still can't afford it. And so they had to move to Lancaster. You know Lancaster? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of our families move out there because it's too expensive to live here.
And then the rent is cheaper over there.
Yeah, the rent is, you know, yeah, it is. It's so much cheaper compared to Pacoima. Even though, you know, Pacoima is considered cheap compared to other parts of the city, right? Yeah.
You would have to be.
Wait, so you're all 5th grade?
Yeah.
Do you know what middle school you're going to next year?
Yeah, I'm 19.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you might leave.
So yeah, like if you see like somebody.
Oh, so is that why you're moving to Bakersfield?
And that would be good.
Oh, okay. Not now. When you're going to finish 5th grade and graduate from Vaughn, right? Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's hard when you have to move away because you can't find a house.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Luz Rivas, we're very fortunate to have her here. I'm sure she has a very, very busy schedule. If I have 2 kids and a wife and my schedule's busy, I can imagine if you were running for office how busy that must be. So, she took the time out of her schedule to answer questions from some 5th graders, which to me is very admirable. We have about 5 more minutes. If you can think of any other questions, right now is a good time to ask. Remember, we're getting it on video, so we can always go back. But if you can think of any other questions, we have about 5 more minutes before we're going to wrap it up, and then everyone is going to come together. Take advantage of that time, okay, guys? Because we only have about 5 minutes. Okay? Thank you.
5 minutes. What can we do in 5 minutes? Anything you're curious about?
How is your business like?
How is my business like? So I have to go to Sacramento, which is an hour on a plane. So I go to Burbank Airport. Have you guys seen Burbank Airport? I don't live that far from there. So I have to go there Monday morning, and I get on a plane, and then I go to work in the state capital. and then I stay up there until Thursday. And then I like it. Yeah, it was exciting. It was new to me. It was kind of scary. You know, when you go to a new school or a new place, that's how adults still feel like that when they get a new job. Right? We're still a little bit nervous. But I've had a lot of supportive colleagues, which means people that work with me in here. And so it's been so much fun. And so I started in June. I'm new.
So colleagues, like people you know from college?
Oh no, colleagues? No, I know that means people that work with you at the same company or the same place.
I came here today.
No, so right now we ended. So I have to be in Sacramento Monday through Thursday, from January through August, and then after that I'm here the whole time.
So after the summer vacation.
Yeah, this is my summer. Yeah, you're right. This is my summer break. So now I get to be home until I'll go back in January.
I couldn't wait.
Vacation. No, I have a lot of work to do. Yeah, so I have an office here in Arleta, on Laurel Canyon, and then I have an office in the state capitol. So I have two. So if you're ever in Sacramento in the state capitol, you have to come and visit me. Right? Just come to my
having to go somewhere new to my experience is a little different because I moved into a whole new family, a whole new house.
Oh, when did that happen?
Like 7 years ago. Because I was adopted.
Oh, you were adopted. Do you live here in Pacoima? Or where do you live?
I used to live around here, but I removed.
Okay, so how did that feel, being in a new family?
I was already used to it because I was visiting them, but like the experience of living with them was, I took a little time to.
Yeah, like it happens wherever. Like I moved away to college. I'm from here, and I went to college in Boston, which is like 5-hour flight. So I was by myself. So it was living with new people in a dorm. Yeah. So I had to make friends very fast.
It would be
Yeah, I'm by myself, right? I didn't know anybody. So it was nice to. It always takes some time to adjust, right? To a new family and a home, and a job, a new school next year when you guys go to middle school. It's going to be new. It's exciting, but then also a little bit nervous. But it's okay, right? Because you know you can adjust.
Yeah, and my sister was there for me, so that's what I was lucky about.
Oh, that's so lucky to have your sister there too.
Yeah.
As part of the family. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for interviewing me. This was so much fun. If your families ever need anything, tell them they can come to my office. Right? Any issues related to the state, which are the freeways, the DMV. You know what the DMV is?
Yeah,
Okay. When you get your driver's license, that's a state agency. There's the employment office, where if your parents lose their job, they can go and apply to get checks. That's also a state agency. So any issues like that or healthcare are what people come to my office to ask for help. So I always want your parents to know that we can help them.
Thank you for letting us interview.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. This is so much fun. Yeah, so you're practicing being a reporter? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, journalist.
Journalist.
Yeah.
Well, we have a journalist from the LA Times here.
Yeah, 2 of us.
Oh, two? Yeah, that's true. So they've gone through that career. Do you have a question for them?
Yeah, I just say you guys are very impressive young reporters. That's a lot of smart questions that I was looking. I want to confess, I was looking at your writing, and I'm very impressed by that too. Yeah, I teach a college class, it's a writing class, and I think you guys can make it into my class. Yeah, this is very impressive writing.
Yeah, some really great
You guys,
questions.
you guys have any? You guys have any questions about? Do you guys have any questions about being a journalist for Francine or for me? Francine is taking photographs all over the world.
Really?
Yeah.
What's
Oh, well, you need to ask Francine about
ask
how to
her
do
a
that.
question?
She is Francine. Is, I don't know how many different countries she's been in.
I lost count. In Africa, I think 11.
11 countries in Africa? And they sent you for work, right?
Right. So you have to speak for wrong.
Is it nice to just get out and like do the
It's fantastic. That was really the best.
Yes.
What? I need to write all Pacific Island language, and then I go I'm not that I don't even know what to do. Right?
Francine, a future photojournalist.
Nice! Welcome! Welcome. It's fun. You get to learn a lot, and you get to. Do you love stories? I love stories.
All right, no more questions
Any
for us?
questions? His name is Steve. Francine.
I don't. I have traveled a lot for stories. Gone lots of different places around the country and the world. But mostly now I've read about Los Angeles because you know it's a way to visit the world without ever leaving Los Angeles. People are here from every corner of the world, right? And there's so many interesting stories. I can't even keep up with them all.
And Steve, with his work, he really helps people a lot. He's written a book, a movie. He's very famous, but when he writes a story, it can change everything. So he's a very important person at our campus.
What's that? It was called The Soloist. It's about a person I met who was homeless, who was a musician. And we became friends, and we're still friends, what is it, 13 years later? Yeah. Have you? He was played by Jamie Foxx, and I was, the actor who played me was Robert Downey Jr. Do you know him?
Yes,
Yeah.
they know that.
There's a movie about
That's right, Iron Man. What would you rather be, Iron Man or a newspaper man?
I mean, only times in the bottom, I think you shoot it, right? That's your comment, your story.
Yeah.
That is nice. Yeah, cut it out and go back.
Very lucky to have him here to come
Well,
visit.
I think we're the lucky ones because this is what we enjoy doing is finding good stories in the community. And that's why we're here today, to see the Assembly members' presentations here. And we're very impressed by the way you conducted this interview.
I am too. These are all future journalists, right? So maybe when they retire, you're going to take over their job.
Awesome. Well,
Right? And maybe they can, keep in touch with them.
Yes, but please don't call in the next couple of years to take my job.
Not to take their jobs. Not to take us, right?
I need a little bit longer.
Well, they're 10. You guys are all 10 years old?
Yeah.
Okay, so we still have some time.
Another
10 years or so. Yeah.
That would be perfect time.
See, it's all going to work out, right? And you're going to take over the LA Times. Hopefully you'll interview me when you're famous. Okay, right? You're going to interview me when you're famous? Journalist? What if they make a movie about you? I want to be in it. 10 years. Yeah. Okay.
You can see when we did, ask them what career they like. Some will say writing. Like my daughter is in this class, this week, and I say, a writer, only for newspaper. They don't know writing to write movies.
Yeah.
Writing to write radio, books, travel, writing to
Professor.
So,
You can teach others to write.
I guess we have to change the Wikipedia to define what a writer is.
Ah,
Well,
It can be anything.
Also practical things like you could write a letter to your representative in Sacramento. Then a really well-written letter might get more attention.
I get a lot of letters that try to convince me to vote or to do something in Sacramento from people that live in this community. And so I read them, or my staff reads them, and they tell me And you know, I want to vote. I want to help the community. So a lot of people write to me to convince me to do that. Or I ask my staff, has anybody written to them? You know, so I can make sure that I'm voting, so I get to vote on laws. And so I want to make sure that
You write laws.
wow,
Imagine.
and I vote.
People write lawsuits and I don't like I hate those lines.
So if you have any ideas for me on the new law, you could write to me and let me know. If something should be a law in the state of California.